Hi guys, this is Geneva Style here. Welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to actually do a few reactions for you guys. In this particular video, we'll do a reaction of Star Wars The Force Awakens, the interrogation scene between Rey and Kylo Ren. And I wanted to do multiple ones for Star Wars and even other movies if possible, because I wanted to really react to these and analyze in depth these scenes and these important scenes in the movies, and I just wanted to give that insight. Also, I haven't seen Star Wars in a long time. I have been like out of the my YouTube channel for a while, just posting random videos here and there, but really I've been away from Star Wars for a while. Now, just so you know, disclaimer there, I'm currently pregnant. Actually, this is my first announcement on my channel, but I'm currently pregnant, so I'm not in my best appearance. I'm all swollen from face to my feet, so I apologize for that. Just ignore that.
Where am I?
You're my guest.
Where are the others?
You mean the murderers, traitors, and thieves you call friends? You'll be relieved to hear I have no idea. You still want to kill me?
That happens when you're being hunted by a creature in a mask.
Tell me about the droid.
She's so uncomfortable.
He's a BB unit with a selenium drive and a thermal hyperscan vindicator.
It's carrying a section of a navigational chart. And we have the rest. Recovered from the archives of the Empire, but we need the last piece. And somehow you convinced the droid to show it to you. You. The scavenger. You know I can take whatever I want. You're so lonely. So afraid to leave. At night, desperate to sleep. You imagine an ocean. I see it. I see the island. And Han Solo. You feel like he's the father you never had. He would have disappointed you.
Get out of my head.
I know you've seen the map. It's in there. And now you'll give it to me. Don't be afraid. I feel it too.
I'm not giving you anything.
We'll see.
Oh my god, I love this scene. Yeah.
You're afraid that you will never be as strong as Darth Vader.
Well, there's a lot to unpack there. It's such a beautiful scene. There's so much that you can say about this scene. My initial reaction when I saw this was that, of course, she's in an upright position and she's bound to the chair, and she wakes up and she finds this man, creature, whatever you want to call it. She calls that creature in the mask. He's kneeling on the floor, And I remember when my first reaction to that scene was, I immediately was, uh, I was kind of weird because compared to the scene with Poe and the interrogation scene at the beginning of the movie, as I remember, he was not in that position at all. He was in an upright position, he was intimidating, he was using great force to gather the information that he needed. Now he's kneeling down and he's observing, right? He's in an observant mode, and I find it very interesting because that's not very intimidating at all. It makes me think that he wanted to make her feel comfortable, and he wanted to observe her from down up. He wanted to observe her, look at her, and it kind of that signifies a little bit of curiosity on his part, which is it's kind of creepy because you wouldn't expect that from an enemy, a war enemy, right? So he's curious about her. We don't know why, and his body language is telling us that. Now, as soon as she comments, "Where am I?" he's going to say, "Okay, well, you're my guest." So that response was kind of like weird and out of place a little bit. It reminded me of the Beauty and the Beast, the song "You're my guest," but. So with Disney kind of like connotations, but I have to say it was very random. It was not normal to see that, because especially from a war enemy to state to a prisoner, "Oh, you're my guest." And also with a laugh, it seems like there was a laugh before he even made that statement. And some people might argue he's using that as a tactic, a strategy to gather the information, make her feel comfortable so that he can get the information easier or more easily. In reality, he didn't do that with Poe. He just got directly to business. He didn't really budge. He didn't go through strategies. He just used the force to get the information. That's it, you're done. Here, he's spending more time with her. He's building a relationship, and he wants to make her comfortable. And it is genuine, in my opinion. It doesn't look like a strategist. Kylo Ren is not strategist. That kind of like goes with the knowledge, the previous knowledge I had on the character and the movies. You can tell he's not. He's very with gut. He's very emotional, very impulsive, so you can tell that he acts based on what he feels, right, and his personal interests. So you can see the conflict there now. So of course I truly believe that he's genuine here. "You're my guest. You're not really a prisoner to me, but I need something from you." And that's a conflict that it's going to kind of like um, drag throughout the scene, you will see. And as we go on, if I just want to make sure I recall everything, um, he kind of like um he's questioning whether or not he's kind of like admitting that he doesn't know where his friends are, her friends are. He doesn't have any knowledge of whether or not they got hurt in the process. And even so, even with that acknowledgement that he doesn't know where they are and he cannot hurt them at all, so they're safe somehow, she still doesn't trust him and wants to kill him. I guess he feels that energy from her, and he doesn't like that. He doesn't want her to want him to kill him. He doesn't want to have that kind of relationship with her. He wants to persuade her to change attitude, and I find that interesting. And again, he wants to make her feel comfortable to dissuade her from killing him. And it's just and that type of a dynamic, I've never seen that before with this character. I find it very interesting. And when she states, "Well, I'm being hunted by a creature in the mask, so obviously I want to kill you," that happens, you're my enemy. And he takes off the mask. And the mask is a symbol of authority, it's a symbol of intimidation, darkness, and strength. He removes that and shows his humanity, his weaknesses. He shows that to her to make sure that she feels comfortable and relates to him. I find that interesting. Again, I don't think it's part of a strategy because there's too many factors involved here, and they're kind of like it doesn't look like a strategy at all. It looks like he's genuinely involved with her in a way that it instills curiosity in him, and also he wants to make sure that she's comfortable. Now, does he want that because he wants to get the information? I don't think so, because if you think about the interrogation scene with Poe, and I think J.J. Abrams showed us two different interrogation scenes to make sure that there's a connotation, there's differences in there, and those are caught very well from the audience, by the audience. So with Poe, he didn't have to use these strategies. He just got to the point here. He's building a relationship. He's spending more time with her. So of course you can presume that there's interest and there's curiosity. So let's move on. And then after that scene, of course, he gets up, right? He gets up straight up and he removes his mask. And of course, she's surprised. She's in shock. Okay, he's not really a creature in a mask. He's a human being. There's nothing wrong with his face. I mean, he's wearing a mask. I don't know for what. He doesn't need it for to survive like Darth Vader had it. He's just hiding behind a mask, but there's nothing wrong with him. He's a normal human being. And now when he's approaching, it seems like she's a little bit uncomfortable because that was unexpected. Everything that's unexpected will make us automatically uncomfortable. It's just human nature because we didn't expect it, so we don't know how to react or respond to it. As soon as he approaches, he starts asking her questions. Of course, he shows off a little bit with his knowledge of the droid system and what he wants and the information that he needs. And he's a little bit showing off here that he can get what he wants. He can get it from her. He's powerful, and I think that's very common. And it doesn't necessarily conflict with the fact that he's curious about her. It's just that way he's showing off to her, and again, it's part of the interest that he has in her. But also, it kind of signifies that he has a conflict between a personal interest in her and his goal, which is a master's goal to get to the droid or get the information from the droid, that part of the portion of the map that's missing to find Luke Skywalker. So that's his goal, but it's in conflict with his personal interest because he wants to study her. He wants to go into her mind, and once he does, he gets distracted. He's very close to her, inches away from her head, and he gets distracted from his goal, right? Because he's having access to all our memories, and that's where he goes first. He doesn't go to the map, and he knows where the map is, and he can access that at that point because she's not fighting, so he could have gathered that information immediately. Instead, he went directly to her memories to know who she is, her history, and he's impressed by that because he relates to that loneliness, that sadness, and that lack of parental guidance. She is crying. Some people say that it's because of torture. I don't perceive that as torture. I think you see tears in her eyes because it's bringing back very bad memories, very, very painful memories. I do believe that then she starts sweating when at one point he accesses her information like about Unsol, and she starts getting offended. She starts getting defensive, and she wants him out of her head, and he distances himself, and again, he's trying to show his power to her. Okay, I can get the information. That's what I need. He goes back to that goal, and it's a back and forth between what she's interested in and his goal is what his master's interested in, right? Because in the end, it's Snoke that wants the map, not necessarily him. He's just serving him. At that point, she's fighting and she's sweating, and you see tears, but I do feel that she's suffering because she's fighting back. Of course, when you fight back, there's strain, there's painful strain, but that doesn't mean that he's torturing her. You know, I mean, she's fighting back. Okay, so in any war battle, there's always a little bit of suffering behind it, but I don't understand if you're engaging in that willingly. Of course, that wouldn't classify as torture, in my opinion. But of course, he put her in that situation. So I understand the critics and the criticism of this scene, that it's not, especially the feminist point of view of this, but whatever. I think it really builds up the relationship and the conflict in Kylo between his personal interests in her and his goal, what he needs to accomplish. At that point, of course, she's able to fight back and access information in his head, and he's absolutely terrified. And I find it very interesting that he's absolutely terrified, and he is the one that's uncomfortable now. He was trying his best to make her comfortable. And some people presume that's because he wants her to disclose information willingly, but again, he didn't have to. He could just access the information from the beginning. In the beginning, she was not fighting. It would have been easy to access. Now she is fighting. She's getting feisty, so of course he has more difficulty to get to the information, and that was unexpected. It kind of like undermined her a little bit because, like I said, he was showing off. He was showing off to maybe the first girl that he met in space. So I find it very interesting. His reaction is very genuine. It's terrifying, and I quite felt sorry for him in this part of the scene just because she's taking over him. So to hurt him as well, and to show that he doesn't have the right to take the information from her head and she can do the same damage to him. And like I said, it's like she's teaching him a lesson. Like, get off, guys. Anyway, comment down below. Let me know what you think. Subscribe. Thank you for, thank you for being here and watching. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Ciao!